Welcome back to Satisfactory. Oops, sorry about that. Accidentally hit my mouse. This episode is going to be dedicated to making a mining outpost so that I can feature that part of the game as well. But before we do that, I've done some off-camera work as per usual, but nothing major. The thing that I've done, you can probably see that there's two hypertubes here now. I've added the copper products onto the main bus, so there are now no less than 14 belts of products going into the hyper mall that I've built over there. I've also added this second hypertube here, which is quite fun. It's a bit of clipping, but I'm satisfied with it. This is one of the advantages of building the foundations a little higher than the landscape. You can hide the hypertube underneath. Since you can only build the hypertubes at 4 height, and I don't want floating foundations. You can of course build them up in the air if you have foundations. I guess you can remove the foundations and just have one long hypertube going up in the air, but it's tedious. And I like things to be logical. The other thing that I've done is that well, if I were a singing person, I guess I would sing a parody on the Gangsta's Paradise here and sing something about Welcome to Concrete Paradise. And this isn't even... well, it's a good beginning, let's just say that, because there is plenty of area over there that needs to be concreted. Okay, well, I have a few grinders here. This one is set up to eat iron plates and steel pipes. Those are being reliably made in the base. This one is set up to grind smooth these copper wire, as those are also being reliably produced. I have added a new line of coal power plants. Before we drive out to the outpost, I actually want to show that, because I rearranged the pipes a little bit, and I'm quite content with the result of that. Need to put a foundation down there. Let's do that before I forget it. Go. So now using the stack pipe conveyors to do the pipes here, and the what are they called? Pipeline junction cross. You can flip them around by using the mouse wheel. So just be sure that you flip them back to this when you have made them like this, so that you get these connections correct. I mistakenly didn't flip them back after having placed this, and got a lot of upwards and downwards pointing pipes that I had to replace all of them. Now this belt, which is an MK3 belt from an MK2 coal miner, is just enough to saturate these 16 coal generators. And currently we are producing 1200 megawatts of power. So that's how that is looking currently. Also the water pumps, that was a slight annoyance to place down due to the encroaching blah blah blah. So there's some let's jump down there. There's some underwater foundations that I placed, and then I used one of these to get the pipes up to where I want them. And I guess I could have done one lower No, I couldn't, because it had to be 2 above for the pipe from that one to attach to that one. That's why I did it like that. But yeah, you need to make sure that they're far enough away, and then you can just use concrete foundations to place these in the water. Of course, that only works if the water is shallow enough, so there is that challenge. I'm not looking forward to when I need more of these, but I'll find a way to make it work. I hope that the Nobelisks are able to take care of those, because those are just annoying. There's ample room for another row of 16 coal generators on the other side, so that is the future plan of the base, is of course to get that when we need it. But our current 1200 megawatts should suffice for quite some time. This is going to be an iron mining area. I don't know where I'm going to put the smelting outpost for that, but we'll see when the time comes. I know there's a foundation here somewhere. I'm going to have a drop anyways. Oop. Now, what I want primarily, first and foremost, is copper, and there's a pure copper node over in the corner. What are you guarding? I'm very happy that they don't mind you when you're driving around in a vehicle. Mobs just ignore you completely. It's also quite fun to, well, drive right at them. They don't die like the bird here. Kinda stunned for a moment, but that's about it. So this area is going to be dedicated to making a smelting outpost, because I don't want to. I mean, I could pull all of the ore into the base and then do smelting column in there, but I don't really want to, because the smelters take up so much space. So I'd rather make a smelting outpost here and do it in several floors. Are these things respawning or something? Ah, the snack tree. Didn't even get to harvest it first. Okay, so the copper node that I'm talking about is right here. So we need to deal with those annoying wasps. Hello. I'm here. There we go. Pure. Someone also asked me how I could build the miners on foundations. I'll show that now. It has to do with the distance between the node and the ore patch. If it's too thick, it won't work. That is a very oddly placed tree. Okay. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to clear out the area. This might not be the most interesting part to look at, so I'll actually just pause the recording while I do this. There we go. I actually did a major brain fart in terms of the copper. Of course I want to belt the copper into the base, because I have already set up slightly gigantic smelting array for copper at the copper outpost. Now, this would be okay if I place it down like this, the foundations, this distance, and it would be it won't be an issue to place the miner on top. That, however, probably will not work. We can test it just so you can see. I'm pretty sure it's going to say I need to make 2 of those. Hello, flying workbench or workshop. Need 2 portable miners. There you go. And gone you go. Might work. Yeah, it actually does work. So about this thickness is fine. If I now were to place another foundation on top of that, I don't even think I don't know why you want the oh, that's why they actually, no, it's a ramp. I think it's too thick if I place down this. Come on. Now I don't think I'm allowed to place the miner anymore. Nope. You need to place this on a resource node. So that's too thick. This is okay. Now I want to just use the 8x2 foundations for this. So let's see here. Let's place it inside of the cliff here. Also, the wasps will of course respawn when I'm gone. They have a tendency to do that. For those of you who are curious about those respawn things, Coffee Stain is working on tweaking the respawn frequency of things. So there will be some occasional bugs where you will encounter things respawning where they're actually not supposed to respawn. And at other times there will be things that should respawn that won't respawn. It's a feature. Okay, so here we have a nice little foundation for our miner, and we need to put it down, and I need steel pipes. I think I have some of those in the car, otherwise I'm going to be miffed, but I did. Good. We can put the leaves. I'm not going to drive on leaves. Stop that. That is slightly annoying, actually, that you need to do it like that whenever you push something that is a fuel source into the car. Okay. Let's put the miner down like that. And then it's a matter of planning where I want the belt to go. Because there are 2 iron nodes here. I don't remember if they're pure. But I definitely want to tap those iron nodes. Let's go deal with the bugs. Any more? Nope. Ah! Pure. Pure. Nice, so there are 2 pure iron nodes there. So these I want to have a smelting array for out here, and I don't want to bring the ore into the base, so I need to leave enough space for that endeavor when the time comes. Currently don't need the iron, so that will be for later. I like that the flowers are glowing in the dark. Okay. If I belt the copper down into the water there, and then belt it up again here, and then We can go down here. And I can just belt the copper and the iron ingots on the same. I guess I can follow the river here. Let's see where that takes us. Probably won't be able to finish this in this episode, but I guess it's a fair distance that I need to traverse. And again, I'm wondering why there are wasps here. They usually guard things. Way down at the actual sea level, yes we are. So then I could continue the belt, at least for the copper, along here. God, swimming is so slow. The water is just too deep. Yeah, this is going to be a massive undertaking, that's for sure. Probably would like to belt it on top of that rock formation, because I don't want to mess up the space here for the water extractors that I need to build here at some point. Might be a better way to belt them. Like maybe if I belted them so that they come in. Well, that won't work either. Actually, it will work because I don't need to extend this foundation area any further that direction, so it will work to belt it in here. And it shouldn't interfere with anything either. This is a normal limestone node. I believe the one down here as well is a normal limestone node. Yep. I probably won't bother tapping them. Okay, so that's the plan then. Oops. Don't worry, he's gonna get up again. So if we just follow the river, yeah, I think that's a good plan actually, just following the river. Should work rather well. I love this area, it's so pretty. That is another limestone node. There's plenty of limestone in this area, normal. But there are several pure nodes up in base A that I haven't really tapped yet, so... And I wouldn't be surprised if the wasps have already respawned out here, yeah. See? 3 of them there. Probably will be 3 of them over there as well by the miner. Yep. Annoying little buggers. One benefit though is that I can, when they don't explode out of that thing, I can pull them slowly. They are very single-minded about coming directly at me, so... Hello. You. Oh, that was too slow. Eat a snack nut. Okay, so... Probably don't want this to be too high, so I suspect that it would suffice with... Oh, bother. I hate it when it does the line. What do you mean I'm slightly... obsessed with straight curves? Okay, so that will work. Then I can just do this. I mean, this line isn't going to be straight anyways because of the... Now we can place down an elevator. Of course, this needs to be an MK3 belt. That won't work. I need... Do I have... I actually have most of it at the moment is reinforced. It's gonna be very annoying to pick it up again though. Probably need to go back to the base and pick up more materials. Limestone and copper ore. Can put... Stop that. No, I'm not gonna burn the carapace. Can put these things in here. There we go. So let's see here. If we build a belt, what is that sound? Need to check out what that is. Is it bees or is it a bird chirping? That looks like a Mercer sphere. So that's probably a bigger nasty. It is bees, up there, from when I was out exploring for hard drives. Okay, well, let's continue this. I'm just checking the length of things with the what I'm doing here. Now, what did I do? I'm going to have to upgrade all of the belts later on, but that will have to be for another time. I will probably do that off camera. So we can build that to about there. Which means that it should be fine to place the stackable conveyor there. And normally I would bother with building power poles as well, but currently... Ah, no. Yeah, that's fine actually. I know where I want the power poles. It's a question of, do I want them on the left side or the right side of the conveyor pole stackable, but I do want them on the right side so that I can just connect and power up the iron outpost with the same power line. Okay, I probably won't bother turning them around. I usually have that little connection box facing towards there, but that's... if I have to turn every single one of them around, I'm not going to bother with that. Okay, let's see. The next distance is... so I want it to go down to the water there. But we'll follow... this should work. Let's make a slight turn here. The water is down there. So this should be good. I get a weird twist here. Yeah, I do. I turned it too much. Yes, I know I'm being very, very pedantic about things. It's just... I like it. I like having things... what? Stop that. I like having things look as neat and organized as possible. It's just a personal quirk of mine. You know, some people would be very annoyed by doing all the things that I do to make things look straight and angled and non-angled and so forth. But it's just a personal preference thing. Okay, we need to pick up some of these sleeves because they are definitely in the way. I think I'll leave the trees there. That's Sam or... okay. See if we can research that in the map. Probably not. As far as I know, it's still a work in progress thing. How much is in this thing? Thank you. Okay, so now let's build a stackable pole here. I think that's... yeah, that should definitely be close enough. There's a wasp circling around me. Okay. That's cute. Didn't even bother to attack me. What is that? No, I'm not being easily distractible at all. Heaven forfend that the Caledorn was easily distractible. I can take that. Thank you. Sheesh, we're already 29 minutes almost into the episode, and this is all I've gotten done? I hope you people realize why I am doing things off camera with all my, I mean, waffling doesn't even begin to describe what I'm doing. There we go. Come on. Hook up. Thank you. And the water here will be too deep. I'm going to have to build some foundations here. We'll just use the normal foundations. Normal foundations. I guess all the foundations are normal, but we're going to use the 8x2 foundation. Would you go away? Thank you. There we go. I still hear wasps, so I wouldn't be surprised if one of them came and attacked me again. Or just swarmed around me. I guess I'm just that irresistible. It's definitely a wasp very close. There you are. Yep, that looks good. Let's just build a little ramp here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seems to be the distance that you can build. It's a little bit more, but 5. At least I don't build foundations for the belt the entire way when it's transporting goods on longer distances. I could be that crazy. And yes, for those of you who are thinking that I would potentially be that crazy, you're absolutely correct. I definitely could be that crazy. The strange thing is, with the foundations, it's almost meditative to place them down, to get that structure and order around the area. It's strangely soothing. I have no idea why. Stop here and harvest some snack tree nuts. Sort the inventory as well. Where are you guys coming from? Bacon shroom. Okay, now this I kind of expect that... Oh, actually it doesn't. I half expected that to go straight through the tree, through the trees. I'm running low on iron rods. Do I have any in here? No, I do not. That's going to be problematic. Okay, so do I want to do... I guess I'm already set for making the line go... Well, if I want to follow the river, I should actually make the line go over there. So if I make a simple turn here... And we need to measure the distance over here. I think that turn will be okay. Okay, well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish this, but I'll pause the recording, and when I come back, which of course for you will be in an instant, I will be at the base so that I can show you how I build this underneath the base. So I'll just build the line along the river, and I mean, this isn't all. This is quite monotonous, but building it underneath the base, that might be slightly interesting. So Probably will hook up the belt in between episodes, I'm not sure. But for now, let's just pause the recording, so see you in a bit. Okay, so a small change of plans here. As you can see, I'm not by the river at all, I'm rather underneath the base. Or what will be the base, because that's going to be extending quite some distance. But I thought that it would just be simpler to connect it up here using a wall conveyor like that. And I'm also using MK3 belts now, so I don't have to go and change all of the belts. So we connect it like that. Now I need to buy the wall-mounted power pole things, but these power poles are probably going to be replaced, and I'll connect the power on at a much further distance, because I expect that I will have this concrete foundation going quite a ways over in that direction. So for now I'll just leave the power pole there, and I'll build a power pole up there so that we get power out to the outpost. And this means that the belt comes in here. And now that I'm going to have it running underneath the base, I will not use stackable conveyors. Can I get the car through here, I wonder? I have my doubts. Even if I can't, I can get it up here, so that's fine. There's a cave here? Oh. I saw some spiders down there as well. Or rather, cat heads. Not sure what is creepiest, spiders themselves or the cat heads, but either way, both of them are pretty creepy if you ask me. Now, I don't want to interfere with the iron patches here, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. Haha, that thing scared me. Make a bend here. Continue through here. Now, to get down under there, we need to just go around the area here. Like so. Now I wonder, can I connect a wall? No, it needs to be on top of a foundation. Would it work if I... Can I build a foundation down? Yeah, I can. But is that good enough, I wonder? No, it is not. Let's build some foundations. That it looks like the structure has support. Come on, there we go. Then we can build the conveyor coming down like this, I think. Yeah, that should work. And under here we need to go back to the stackable conveyor poles, because I want to be able to... I probably won't need to drive, but at least I want to be able to walk without having to jump over the belt. So yeah, now I'll just continue this through the farty plant area along down here, across the river, and connect it up to the copper smelting base over there. When I'm ready with that, I will restart the recording. Okay, so now the belt is coming down from underneath there, and it's going over here. And here's the... I think this is an impure node. No, it's a normal node that we are mining. And I'm going to connect this belt onto the top of these conveyor pole stackers. And I also did some rearranging inside of the... or rather underneath the copper outpost where I have the belts going in. As you can see, it's now going in there instead of in the middle, and this one will be going into the middle. Because of course I couldn't attach it on one above because of this conveyor belt lift. Now, am I able to get inside here, I wonder? I am. Good. Now let's just build these quite close to these ones. This one, I think, is going to be a bit challenging, which is why I also restarted the recording. Because I needed to... I guess what I can do is actually just do a merger on top of that and do it like that. If I then put a pole there and take it one up, I think that should be good. And there we go. Then I have that one being Mark III coming in at a better angle. Now I need to go up there and see how I'm supposed to connect it up to the base of the smelters. Because that is something that I am uncertain of currently. The normal node can be upgraded to Mark II. And that up there can be upgraded to Mark III, which means that it outputs 120, and the normal node will output 240. That is 360 on Mark III. That translates to 12 smelters. But I think I'm going to have to connect them up differently. Get rid of this copper ore that I have. This might be too close actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That just leaves me with 3 of them. Do I really need that much copper? That is the big question. If I upgrade one down there to Mark III, that will suffice to fuel 8 of these. And this one on a Mark III belt is also sufficient to power 8 of these. Did I build 16? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so I want this one to come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want it to come up here. That's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. I mean, I could make it come up here, Crap. Okay, let's have it come up here. Let's build a splitter like that. And I need to remove that splitter again. And funnily enough, or merger, I need to make it go that way. Then I need to have another stackable conveyor on top of that and connect that to there. And go away. This was more of a conundrum than I thought. Then we need a conveyor lift MK3 here. I think that should suffice. Yep. Okay. Well, all that's left now is to get power out to the outpost, and then of course do the regular splitting thing on the smelting array, and we'll have 8 more smelters running. I will also upgrade the normal copper node miner down there to Mark II, which will almost give us what we need to fuel 8 of these. And at the time when we get Mark III, I'll probably just dismantle the miner up there, because even at pure it can only sustain 4 smelters, which is rather expensive considering what it costs to actually build a Mark III miner. But for now, some of you have asked me to do episodes like this, like where I very specifically go through the planning and execution of things like menial things. I would consider these things menial, like doing a mining outpost and things like that. It's a very long episode, that's for sure. But if you don't like it, please let me know, and I will not make episodes like this in the future, but rather go back to do things like this in between episodes. Maybe if you prefer me doing things like this every now and then, I would very much appreciate the feedback, so that I know that I'm actually producing the content that you guys want to see. As you have seen, this episode is going to be 50 minutes long. Doing things like this takes a long time. And if I were to do regular 30 to 35 minute episodes, this factory would be nowhere near its current point, or I would have a ridiculous amount of episodes, which probably wouldn't be very interesting to watch a great deal of them. So that's why I'm trying to condensate things the way that I do. So please leave me your comments. As an example, since we're looking at that bus, that took me about 4 hours of planning, thinking, and then you saw me execute the actual construction of it, which also was a very long episode. So yeah, it's time consuming. Very time consuming. I find it incredibly fun. This is a great game. Very, very great game. But it's probably not that interesting to look at me think, because when I'm thinking, I can occasionally just stand like this, looking at the terrain, analyzing for several minutes without doing anything. I mean, the factory is working in the background anyway, so it's not doing any kind of harm. So yeah. But for now, thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode.